Okay. Just waiting for some people to get on. Talk about what's going down in the country I live in. Crazy shit that's going on. Yeah, just want to talk about this lockdown we're going through at the moment. Hey, Kathy. Where you from? Yeah, I just want to talk about this fucking lockdown we're in right now, man. Like, we've been in a lockdown for 6 months now here in Melbourne, Australia. Just wanted to get the shit off my chest. It's just crazy. And now they're talking about extending it for another year, these restrictions. And it's just crazy, man. Like, I don't understand what people are thinking. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was talking to a friend the other day, and we're having a discussion because I just found that it's funny how people seem to they feel like they can't talk about how they feel because they feel like if they do, they get called a conspiracy theorist or selfish or something like that. But I don't think everyone's looking at each other like they were before. I mean, I see friends online falling out over stuff that's going on. They'll be falling out over stuff like they've known each other for years and now they're fucking hating on each other. It's madness. It's absolute fucking madness. You know, where I'm from, where I'm from here in Australia, in Melbourne, we're in such a lockdown. I think it's the heaviest lockdown in the world at the moment, where we are we're only allowed out for an hour a day. Sorry if I'm a bit vague. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, no, sorry, 3:30. But we're only allowed to leave the house for an hour a day to exercise. There's a curfew at 8 p.m. Not allowed out, and it's 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. My two businesses have been shut for 6 months, 6 fucking months, and it's just it's funny that you're not even allowed to speak about it, how you feel about it, because you're considered some fucking conspiracy theorist and selfish. You know, how dare you, you know, want this lockdown to not exist because you'd be responsible for killing the elderly. It's fucking retardation at its best. But what people don't seem to understand is I've got a mum. My mum is in a home. She's nearly 90, suffering from dementia, and she's at risk as well. But the difference is, I don't know what country you're from, but where I'm from, it seems to me that if anyone in their 80s and 90s are the ones that are being affected from this, some in their 70s, some in their 60s, depends on how sick they are. But one thing I do know is they are lying about the numbers. And I always talk about, I always say to people, you can believe in something, that's fine, but it's a belief, and a belief isn't a knowing. Fuck what anyone says, right? It's not a fucking knowing, right? And people say to me, when I say I don't believe, I'm saying that, I don't believe that the numbers they're telling us about these deaths are true. And then when you know someone, I'm going to give you the example, right? The other day, a couple of weeks ago, someone in our government turned around and said that someone in their 30s died of COVID. Now, I've got a friend who works in, I can't be too specific, I don't want to flag this person in, but he works where the dead bodies go, let's just say, right? And that body went to his work. And they did an autopsy on that body. And on the death certificate, it said that he died of COVID. But the autopsy showed that he died of head trauma. That's pretty significant. And that's a straight up lie. And then everyone's like, well, if they're lying, you know, why would they be lying? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Why do I have to know that? You know, if a friend of mine lied to me about something, how am I supposed to know what he was thinking? What he was trying to get out of it? I don't fucking know. In the US. Yeah, well, it's the same here. The same here. There's families here who have got, Kathy, there's families here who've got their elderly in homes and they've died of just, so here, right, there's a couple of families that I don't want to say too much, but some families members have died, right, and one died of cancer, and they were told, and on the death certificate it said COVID, and they got livid. They were pretty angry about it, and they said to the home, they said, "Why would you do that? We don't want that on the death certificate." And they're like, "Well, then don't you want the money?" That's the sort of stuff you just got to go, what the fuck's going on? Just tuned in. Hey, man. I'm just talking about the situation where I live in Australia. We're in a lockdown, and we've been in lockdown for 6 months now, and they're talking about adding another fucking year to this. Right now, we can only leave our homes for 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day for exercise. You're not allowed to. So if you want to go for food, you can't go with anyone else. You have to go by yourself. There's a curfew. We have to be in by 8 p.m. and we're not allowed to leave the house and until 5 a.m. So there's a curfew, and it's just like, it's just fucking prison. It's funny because where I live, I think it's just over 300 people have died of COVID in 6 months. But in that 6 months, right, 3,000 people have committed suicide. How many of them is because of COVID? Well, the statistics showed that the previous year, the suicide rate was, I think it was only like a couple of hundred at that point in that span of time. Or was it, or maybe it could have been a little bit more, but we're talking 3,000. And it's funny because now if you speak up and you say, I'm not, you know, if you say you don't believe in this lockdown, then people say you're selfish because you're going to potentially kill the elderly. And I understand what they're talking about, but what I don't understand is this. And this is what I wanted to talk about. I said to a friend who was having a debate with, I said, at what point do we say enough is a fucking enough? It's been 6 months now, and now we're told we're going to go into another year on top. Now, so I get it. So the elderly are affected by this. I get that. But you know who else is affected? Me and my fucking family. I've got a family to look after, right? My fucking family. Right? And I don't care what anyone says. My family comes first, right? And if anyone doesn't feel like that, that's fine. That's on you. But it's my family. And now, I've got lots of people that are around me saying the same fucking thing. If you're going to say to me that your fucking 90-year-old dad or mother, right, because I've got one, my mum is in a fucking home too, is more important than my family's fucking freedom right now, and we're going to do this for another fucking year, I think you're fucking wrong. And I think that what I don't understand is if you're scared of COVID, if you're fucking scared of it, you stay home. I'm not scared of it. So why can't I do what the fuck I want? If you're fucking so scared of it, you stay home until you think it's okay to come out, or you want to get your fucking vaccine or whatever, then it's on you. But why the fuck's it on me to stay home? If the elderly are in danger, protect the fucking elderly. It's fucking retardation, man. Like, where I live, I've got 2 tattoo shops. Both have been shut for 6 fucking months. And it's like, yeah, I'm from Melbourne now, in Adelaide. So bad, but fuck, I feel for my brothers back home. Yeah. Dude, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, mate, it's come to the supermarket I go to. It's got rations, dude. Fucking rations, dude. Yeah. It's not me being selfish, saying that I'm for my, how could you think about yourself and not the elderly? Let's protect the elderly. That's what we should have done in the fucking first place. That's what we should have done. It doesn't make any fucking sense. When this went, you know what the funny thing is? When this first went down, I remember I was watching something on YouTube, and I saw a bulletin. Come up in the sidebar of the news, and I said it was like pandemic or something like that. And I clicked on it, and it was our local news, and it said pandemic in China. And the footage, this is the first footage that the media was showing us here in Australia. I don't know what it's like in America. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about here. What happened here, not that I don't give a fuck about America, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what I see here. All right? And the way it was fucking put to us. So they talk about this pandemic, this bulletin. It was like fucking like a flash news thing, right? And they're showing people walking down the fucking street with their shopping, just falling over and dying. Just people walking down the street and dying. That's how we got introduced to COVID. We've been in lockdown we've been in restrictions and lockdown for 6 months now. I haven't seen any of that shit. None of it. Is it bullshit? I don't fucking know, but I haven't seen it. And if we're supposed to be the worst in the fucking world right now, I think we should be the ones that be saying it, wouldn't we? It was portrayed to us like it was this fucking thing that got you and you just fucking died. You just fucking, it attacks your lungs and you just fucking, it's just fucked. It's just fucked. I can't remember how long that went for, but that's what they were showing us. That's what they were showing us on our fucking news. That people in China were just walking down the street and dropping dead. Right? They're not showing that now, but that's how they introduced it. That's how they introduced it. Am I saying it's not real? I don't fucking know. And if it is real, is it as bad as they say it is? I don't fucking know. But what I actually know, and it's the only thing we can do, is what I actually know is the street that I'm on was thriving. It was fucking. I've been here for this one tattoo shop I've got here has been here for nearly 30 fucking years, right? Nearly 30 fucking years. And now, in that last 6 months, so many empty shops now. Gone, done. Family businesses that are gone, done, fucking done and dusted. Right? And you're telling me people are going to lose everything. They're going to lose their fucking homes. They're going to lose their business. They're going to want to try and commit suicide to protect, right? To protect someone who's fucking 90 in a home. I'm not saying not to protect the people who are 90 in a fucking home or 80 years old in a home. I'm not saying that, right? But what I'm saying is, yeah, protect them. But what the fuck has that got to do with me living my fucking life and my family and caring for my family? It's just, it makes no fucking sense. It's absolute re-fucking tardation at its best. And what I've seen, I've noticed, I mean, I was never that guy that was like, when it first happened, I was never that guy that went, oh, look, this is bullshit. And I jumped on the conspiracy fucking thing. Never did that. I saw that footage and went, fuck, that's brutal. I rang the missus and said, have you seen this shit? And then it came to Australia. So we did everything the government told us. You know, of course, we wore a mask, social distance, whatever. We closed our business. We listened. We did, right? But at some point, you just turn around and you think, what they telling us, actually, does it look like that's what it is? Like that's how it's panned out? And I don't see it. I don't see it. Have people died in homes? 100%. I know people. I get it. I do. But at some point, I asked a friend the other day I was having a debate with about it. And I said to him, at what point, like we're 6 months in now, they're asking for another fucking year, right? Another year on top of that now. At what point is it enough? Where you just turn around and go, you know what? No, we can't do this anymore. We have to live our fucking lives. That's it, right? I know, but we have to wait for this vaccine. We don't even have a vaccine for SARS. And how long's SARS been around for? Like, it's just fucked. I don't understand. You got cops, patrolling the fucking playgrounds and the fucking ovals, making sure people are doing the fucking, and locking people and fining people. It's just that the cops right now is when we really need people. And if the cops are here to protect us, that's not what I'm saying. They're not protecting us at all. At all. It's not what I'm saying. Okay, you get your one couple of fuckheads that, do you know the law? And, if you're gonna get bashed, you know that's gonna happen. And I know you want to try and express that, whatever. But it's not just that. That's just what the media is showing you, right? It's just what the media is showing you. Since these happened, the media can't bullshit so much because there's footage of people fucking doing it and not doing that and being fucking harassed, man. Like, just fully harassed. It's fucked. Oh, it's just, I don't understand. And I get it. Like, I guarantee. I said to my friend, I go, at what point do you think people are going to put up with this, and they're just going to go, enough's enough? In fact, I think on the 13th, there's some sort of march, anti-lockdown march or something. I don't know. In the city, it's going to be surprising now that they've added, and they're going to try and add another fucking year to this. What's this? It's absolutely absurd. All of it. COVID is a flu. That's right. That's it. Numbers worldwide just still haven't exceeded. Yeah, I know. And it's funny. Like, who was the health guy the other day in Melbourne? Admitted that if you have COVID, but you die of a heart attack or you die of something else, but you've got COVID, that's considered a COVID death. yeah, that march isn't going to end well. I know. Oh, look. I hope it. You know, what I find weird is I like if I think. See, this is what the problem is, right? Like I only ever done one protest in my life, and I just did it to experience it, and it was something that I did. It was about Monsanto. It was an anti-Monsanto march, and I went there because a couple of friends were doing it, and it was something I believed in. I was living on a farm at the time, and I believed in it, so I went there. Did nothing. Doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean you give up. But one thing marches do that I think helps is when I'll give you an example. It was in Ireland, in Dublin today, last night. I posted it on my social media, and there was a photo of the march, and it said hundreds of people gathered, right? But you clearly look at the photo. They've obviously tried to take a photo where it looks like it's the least amount of people. But then you click on the actual thing, and there's a video of it. There's of people there. But that's what the media does. That's what I'm saying to you. The first thing I saw about COVID was people just walking. Oh, I got disconnected on my back. Yeah, I'm back. The first thing I saw about C19, remember, from the media, was just people walking and then dropping dead on the street. That's the sort of shit, man. Like, if they're lying, they're lying. So there's doubt. And yeah, I did the right thing. I did what was told, you know. But what I do think about this, how you were saying, it's not going to end well with this march. What it does do is it puts doubt in people. Someone who is convinced that this is real will see that and go, how can so many thousands of people be marching thinking that this is bullshit? And it can put doubt. And sometimes that's a seed to drop into people. You know, that's all you need. And it's that's powerful. Does it change anything in terms of am I back? Does it change anything in terms of what the government policies are going to be? Probably not. But what it does change is the perception of what people are thinking. You can't stop that. It's because of these. Media is media, but that is your fucking media right there. And, you know, look, I got to say, like, anyone who goes to that march, I liked it. I said that I'm going on mine. I'm not, but I implore anyone that is. I mean, I've got my son, and I'm not taking my fucking son there. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But, you know, I applaud anyone that does go. You know, stand up for what you believe in. You know, it's your fucking life, man. And I just think it's fucking. I don't know how it is anywhere else in the world, but I can tell you right here, right now, it's not good. It isn't good at all. You know, they've taken everything that we love away from us. People go, our freedoms were gone long time ago. You know, when someone says to me, and I'm going to bring it up, when someone says, I brought it up the other day, someone said to me, you just don't believe in anything, man. How can you not believe what they're saying is true? How can you prove it's wrong? And I just turned around and I said, okay, was it wrong? I said to him, in 1967, right, the indigenous people in this country, the Aboriginals, wild animals, right? Wild animals up until 1967, right? Who made that law? That if you killed an Aboriginal at that time, it wasn't considered murder. It was like animal cruelty. And you're telling me this government's not corrupt. Oh, it's changed now. It's different. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's different. You're waving that flag in their fucking face. You're waving that fucking flag in that indigenous people's face. And you're telling me this government isn't corrupt. I was born here. I don't give a fuck. I'm not saying I don't care about what's going on around the world, but I mostly care about what's going on here. Here. And what's going on here is a lot of bullshit. You know, people forget so easy, man. Like, you know, people of power in power have convinced people some of the most horrific shit. Convincing people that Aboriginals are considered wild animals is fucking disgusting. And I mean, dude, if you don't think you're being deceived, I know I am. We do all the time. Anyone who thinks they're not being deceived in some way, shape, or form is a fucking idiot. They convinced humans, right, that black people, that it was okay to sell black people and keep them as slaves for 400 years. Right? Governments can do whatever the fuck they want, and we can gull it up. But at some point, we've got to fucking... I hate saying wake up, because every time people say, you got to get woke, man, it's one of those trigger words that now it's been demonized. It's fucked. It's like you can't even fucking say anything without anyone saying you're a fucking conspiracy theorist or blah, blah. No. It's not a conspiracy that our government were calling Aboriginal, were saying that Aboriginals, by law, were considered wild fucking animals up until 1967. And they were still taking kids from their fucking families. It's just... Yeah. So don't try and tell me that the government's beautiful and honest. Our government's so beautiful. They're here for us. It's fucking disgusting, mate. Stay Clint, spot on everything. Alhida doing... Yeah, man. Like, you know what the problem is? The problem is the way to convince people most of the time would be, and this is why, is you're telling a lot of truth, but in amongst that truth, you fucking blurt out something bullshit. And that's what they do. You know, they convince people. And, you know, and it's the thing is, sometimes you don't even know you're being convinced because you're so involved in it that you don't see it. And it's happened through all human history. You know, and then we learn and we progress, whatever, but we're never perfect, and we're far from perfect now. And I think, it's weird. Sometimes it takes. It's like with anything. It's the same. Everything, as you know, they say, as above, so below. You know, expansion, reduction. It's the same. You can apply most things to anything, and it's the same. Like saying, like, fuck, how do I put it? When people talk about how you've got to experience tragedy to know what tragedy is, and it's the only way that you can come out of that. Or, you don't know what you got until it's gone. And sometimes you need to experience it. Do we need this to happen for people to just go, our governments are actually corrupt? Is that what we need? But at what fucking cost, man? At how far? Like, how far? How far do we take it? How far do we let them? You can't say that this is fine. It's not. What I mean by fine, people are saying they're doing everything they can to help us. The government's there for us. I don't believe it, man. I don't. They haven't been there in the past. I don't believe that at all. I can only talk from my experience. Growing up as a kid, my experience of government and police and stuff like that has never been a good one. I don't know many people that can turn around and say, I like the idea of police, but not the police the way we have police now. No, not at all. Not at all. It's like what I always say to someone: if you think police are so good, when they're behind you, when you're driving down the road and they're behind you, are you nervous? Are you shitting yourself? And now most of the time they'll say, yeah. Why? If they're there for you to protect you and help you, why are you nervous? I mean, I know why I am. I mean, growing up as a kid, just doing kid things, just being a kid, I was never a fucking arsehole. But I've been bashed by cops a few times, And I can say from my experience, you can believe me or not, from my experience, I got bashed for nothing, And I look at it now, and that still goes on now. And that's someone's kid they're bashing. I've got friends who've been in the police force who say it's corrupt. I know it's corrupt because I used to be a drug dealer, and I know where I used to buy my drugs from and who used to protect me and who I used to pay a long time ago. You know what I mean? It's like, that's stuff I've experienced. It's stuff I know. It's not stuff I believe. A belief's a belief, but like, that's something I've experienced. I know shit's corrupt. I've paid off politicians to do things for certain businesses that I had in the past where I had to do things, and I've paid politicians to let it go through, right? I've paid doctors for drugs. It's just like anyone's corrupt. Anyone can be corrupt, man. You're trying to tell me the fucking government isn't corrupt? And you're like, but what, to this extent? Yeah, fucking oath. Mate, this country that we slaughtered all these Aboriginals in, remember? Do you think that the Aboriginals have to forget that now? It was only fucking up until 1967 they were considered fucking wild animals. I wouldn't be forgetting that. I wouldn't be forgetting that. And you can only go off by your own experience. I don't know what everyone else's life's been. I'm not saying my life's been shit growing up. I loved my fucking life growing up as a kid. What I did see was a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Still enjoyed myself, but I saw a lot of shit. People are still questioning whether is right. Oh yeah, you're talking about Ike. Yeah, you know what's funny, right? We were all talking about the other day. I was talking about you can't even say anything anymore without, like I don't particularly give a fuck too much. But even myself, sometimes I'll be like, I think fuck, maybe I need to restrain from saying something because it's just going to start up shit. It's to that point where we're silencing ourselves because we're too scared to fucking talk because you think someone's going to think you're a fuckwit or blah blah, and you don't want to fucking stir shit up, and it's just like you got clients that are on your social media and you don't want them to it's just fucked. You can't even talk anymore. Like I've got friends who have fallen out over this, and they've been friends for years. It's just fucking stupid, man. It's stupid. If we can't talk to each other about this shit, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. We're fucked. Anyway, look, I just needed to get off my chest. This is the first time I've spoken about it like this on social media. I haven't done a video for ages, or a live stream for ages. But like, fuck. Yeah, it's more than sad, man. It's a tragedy, dude, what's going on. And I don't know how the government or anyone can sit there and say to me that we can say, let's protect. This is the excuse. Look, you've got to protect the elderly and the people who are at risk, right? By what? Shutting down all the fucking shops and letting people lose their fucking businesses they've had for fucking generations and lose their homes and want to commit suicide. To put it in perspective, I'm not trying to be fucking, heartless here, because my mother, who I fucking love, is in a home and she's about to turn 90. She's nearly in her 90s and she's not well. Protect them. Yes, I get it. Protect them from it. But what are we doing? If the percentage of death from COVID is less than 4%, it's fucking insane. And that's not me just being a conspiracy theorist or whatever they fucking want to say. That's a stat that the government's told us. So what you're gonna destroy young people, families' lives, because let's get down to the nitty gritty, because no one really likes to talk about it, right? If it came down to the crunch, right, that the only way we could get our freedom back was if I'll give you an example. If this lasted for another 2 years, and the only way we could go back to normal was put the elderly at risk, I'm putting my hands up, bro. That's it. And if that was me in a fucking home, I'd be saying, go and do your thing, man. I would. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. And people get triggered by fucking opinions these days. You can't even express the way you feel. But if I'm not going to sit here and say that your parents who are fucking in their fucking 90s are more important than my fucking family right now, living their fucking free life, to have a fucking business and live and just experience the beach and go out and live music and all that shit. No, fuck off. Like, it's just stupid. Yeah, you can say it's selfish. I don't give a fuck. I reckon you're selfish for saying that I have to fucking stay in. I'll give you an example, right? If I was in my 80s and 90s and I'm in a home and I saw my fucking kids, right, who had kids and their businesses and they were losing everything to save my fucking life, and I'm in my fucking 80s and 90s, I'd be like, what the fuck? Go and do your fucking thing. Go and do your thing. And I've always said, like, to mates, I'm like, if you're so scared of this, you're the one that's so scared of this fucking virus, you fucking stay home. You fucking stay home. What the fuck am I staying home for? If you're fucking scared of it, if you think what it's doing is protecting the elderly, right? If that's what you really think, well, then we need to be, and I agree with this, we need to protect the people who are in those homes. Yeah. Whether it's COVID, whether it's flu, it's the same fucking thing to me. It kills them, right? Yeah, so right, that's priority. Protect them from the fucking disease. I get that. But that doesn't mean lock us up. For God knows how fucking long. We're 6 months deep and you're talking another fucking year? Fuck off. Fuck off. How long do you reckon people are going to put up with that shit? How long do you reckon they're going to put up with that shit? You a fucking retard, man? Like, come on. Come on. You know, it's stupid. I know as a father to my son, and I'm about to have another kid. If they grow up, right, and this happens in their time again, right, and they've got fucking businesses and they've got kids, and my life's at risk, I'm not going to want them fucking locked in their house for a fucking year or 2 years. No, I'm not. So what I think is, if you think your parents are thinking that you should be fucking locked up, I think you're selfish. I don't think your parents are that fucking selfish. I don't. I just don't. There I go. I said it. It's uncomfortable. And it's only uncomfortable because the media's made it. Because the media are like, these people putting everyone at risk. No, the government put us at risk, right? We were living our fucking lives doing what we do, right? When you heard there was a pandemic and it came into this country and you knew that it affected the elderly, did you protect the elderly? Because who's fucking dying right now? So don't try and turn that onto the people, and that's your fault. You're selfish, or you want to go to a bar and have a good night and put your elderly at risk. It's just dumb. It's dumb shit, man. Right. So that this nurse is going to explain all in fake COVID-19. Man, look, you know what? I love that stuff, man. People need to speak out. Like I said at the start of this, I've got a friend who is not a conspiracy theorist, and he works in a place where they deal with the dead bodies. And when we were told that a 30-year-old died of COVID, right? He messaged me and said, we received that body. And they did an autopsy. And on the death certificate, it said COVID, but he died of head trauma. How does that make any fucking sense? I mean, that's just one person saying that to me. But he's a good friend of mine, right? Okay? He's a really good friend of mine. He's not going to lie to me. What's he got to gain? He's got a lot to lose. And that's why I'm not going to say who it is. And I'm never going to fucking do that to this guy. He's a fucking good mate. Because I know if ever it got out, he could lose his job and all sorts of shit, right? But what I'm saying is people need to share those stories and get it out because it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And that's only one story. You know, I've heard hand-me-down stories of friends of friends of friends, but this is close. You know, it ain't what they were telling us, man. It ain't people walking down the street and dropping fucking dead. Because that's the way they fetched it to us when we were fucking, when I first saw it on the news in Australia. I don't know how it happened in any other country. I remember, and they've been busted a few times. I remember that fucking one news thing where they did it, and they were talking about how the hospitals are overrun by COVID patients, and they flashed a thing of a hospital saying it was in Melbourne, Victoria, right? And it wasn't. It was a hospital in Italy. And then I remember I posted that, how they got busted, that it wasn't a hospital in Melbourne. And someone said to me, well, the reason why they maybe did that was because they didn't want to send media into a hospital now and put them at risk. But they didn't have to say it was from Australia. That's still a lie. It's still a fucking lie. I don't care what you just said. It's still a fucking lie. They could have just told us that they're overrun. They didn't have to give us an image that was bullshit, right? Did they? That's my point. It's all on your YouTube. Please go on. So there's so much good info. I will, man. I will. Stay, Clint. I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. For sure, man. Yeah. I'm going to go now because I've got to go to bed. It's fucking hit 4 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I can leave the house in an hour for an hour. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, I think people need to speak out about how they feel. And when I've got friends that oppose what I'm saying, and I don't condemn them for having an opinion. Like I said, you know, like I've got friends. That's harsh. Yeah, for me, when people talk to me about it, and even though I think what they're saying, I might think what they're saying is really fucking stupid and retarded. That's just how I feel. I don't condemn them for it. I don't attack them about it. You know, just everyone's navigating through life the best way they fucking can. All right, that's it. We just do our best. Yeah, man. It's only an hour, mate. An hour a fucking day, and we've got a curfew. We have to be in by 8 p.m. and we can only get out of the house at 5 a.m. for an hour for exercise. It's crazy. And you can only go shopping one at a time. And the food here is like fucking, it's not so bad now, but at one point it was like rations at our supermarkets. It's fucking disgusting, man. It's fucking disgusting. They've sent everyone into a fucking panic. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Where you from, brother? Yeah, like I said, man, we need to talk to each other, man, and be okay with what anyone else is saying. Like, fuck. Yeah, London, yeah. Fuck. It's just, we've got to fucking work it out, man. But all I'm going to say is, if it comes down to it and they're going to tell us we're going to be locked down for another fucking year, I ain't going to put up with that, man. I've got a family to look after. I've got a fucking family to look after, man. And I doubt I doubt it's ever going to happen. You are not going to be able. This is the thing. This is where it pisses me off. This is where we need the police. Everyone, was going to wake up. Fucking earth, man. You can't do that, man. You know what? And this is where we need the police, because they're supposed to protect us, and right now they're not. Right? They're protecting them from fucking locking us in. But at some point, they need to start fucking turning it around and wake up. That's who needs to wake up. Really, that's who needs to wake up, because they're the ones. Because if they didn't have the police backing them up, if the government didn't have the police backing them up, I guarantee you all these shops on my street would be open and everyone would be doing whatever the fuck they want. 100%. Telling you. So it's the police that are doing this to us, man. And, you know, that's the government's game. No, you're right. It's hard to unite. I get it. I fucking get it. When you've got fucking, mate, where I'm from, you can go to the parks. There's cops circling everywhere. There's helicopters. It's like we're in a fucking war zone, dude. It's actually like we're in fucking Nazi Germany. It really is, man. It really fucking is. And people just are lapping all that shit up. And it's like, I get it. It's based on fear. Everything's based on fear. But I'll guarantee you this. If you, for 1 second, think that Australians are going to stay inside their homes and lock up their businesses and not go to venues and pubs and stuff like that and socialize, it's wrong. I've just woken someone up. It's worse over there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we've got it worse than you. Fuck, sorry. I think we do, bro. Not going to happen. Yeah. Well, people need to start fucking... I hate saying wake up because it's one of those trigger words that they use against you. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they think they're so woke. It's like, yeah, we need to wake up, open our eyes and see what's going on. Anyway, thanks for fucking listening, man. I have to get that off my chest. But I hope everyone's safe and just fucking, we all need to talk, man. See you later.